Hello and welcome. My name is Gene, and today we're going to move ourselves through a bit of a levels changing practice on the seat, on the feet basically, and incorporating a few balance postures that really get into your feet and making sure your feet are well set for your day. So, take some time first to find a seat somewhere on your mat. Sit bones are settled in a place, regardless of if the legs are in front of you, crossed beneath, or out to the sides. Introduce a sense of awareness to your breath while inhaling through your nose, and then exhaling through the nose, sighing or yawning through the mouth. Another 3 or 4 for yourself. Just observing how the body wants to arrive. If there's any tension. Or even if there's any places that your body is willing that sense of relaxation, that sense of easing in. As your breath becomes a little bit more aware, this could be a nice place to think about something you want to move with today. As mentioned, we'll have a little bit of level shifting, a little bit of balancing, and a little bit of focus on your feet. A practice with those kinds of foci might connect you to intentions of finding balance, of trusting how you plant yourself in a place, or even embracing alternative perspectives when you see something a little bit differently or when you feel something a little bit differently. What does that do for you? What changes happen in your body that you take note of? When you feel like you've arrived in your space, we'll start warming up your abdomen, your spine, by taking some seated cat-cows. So, sit bones on the ground as you breathe in. The shoulders are going to widen. Look up toward the sky, getting a stretch in your neck. And then exhale, softening in the rib cage, guiding the chin down to the tailbone, softening in the back of the skull. Inhale, press into your sit bones again. Feel each rib widen to make space. And then exhale, hollowing your heart once more, using that contraction in your abdomen to really get in deep. Take a few more seated cat-cows for yourself. Take another 2 or 3 more breaths for you. Good. Now, adding in a little more movement, take a breath in as you shift back on the sit bones. The legs will curl inward, feet on the mat. And then exhale, left leg extends forward while your right knee opens to the side, just placing your right foot against the side of your left leg. Adding in a twist here, breathe in through your nose, just really digging into your sit bones on the mat. And then your abdomen engages this movement. As you exhale, twist toward that right knee and look over your right shoulder. Now you've got your left hand connecting to your right leg, while the right hand makes a kickstand just behind the right hip. Take every breath in, lifting and lengthening through your abdomen, through the ribs. And with that lifting and lengthening, exhale, look a little further over your right shoulder. Another 3 breaths. If you want to take that right hand and reach back behind you, open up the right pectoral muscle a little bit, more than welcome to. Another breath in. And another breath out. Good. Now inhale, undo that twist in the ribs. Arms reach up toward the sky. And then exhale, hinging forward towards your left leg, folding over it. You've got the left side of your chest moving toward that inner portion of your left leg. Hands can reach forward. You can even bend that left knee if you want, just to soften the fold a bit. Another 3 breaths. You can think of also bending that left elbow a little bit. Might help fold the body a little bit more toward a point of comfort. Great. Take an inhale. Press into both sit bones. Spine comes back to center. And then exhale, right hand underneath the right knee, uncurl it back. Then stepping that right foot over your left leg. You're going to take an inhale, sliding that right foot more toward your left side. And with your legs stacked on top of each other like this, taking a second twist. Look over your right shoulder once more. 5 breaths here, just a couple of twists. Really allowing that spine to go long. Crown of the head reaches up. Inhale. And exhale. That first twist helped with your external hip rotation with the right knee out to the right side. This second twist, with your right leg a little more bundled on top of the left, can assist with some internal hip rotation. We'll take another 2 breaths here. Good. Now this time, inhale, looking back just a little further over your right shoulder. And then exhale, the twist is undone. Ribs return you to center. Just to breathe in, help that right leg, I should say, cross back over. And then exhale, legs join, shake them out. Drink some water if you have need. We'll do a bit of the other side, just so that the other side gets some sensations, and then move up to the feet for a few postures. So when you're ready, take a breath in, legs are nice and long. And then exhale, left knee bends, just to open that left knee to the side. Take a moment just checking that your left foot is against the side of your right leg. And when you find that anchor point, breathe in, sit bones on the ground, spine lifts up. And then exhale, twisting from your ribs to the left side. Now your right hand is what's finding its way to your left leg. Left hand is what's making a kickstand on the ground behind the left hip. Halfway point point if you'd like to reach that left arm back behind you. Again, just waking up the chest a bit more. 3 breaths here. Think of really pressing your left foot into the side of your right leg, just so that you find that sense of contact and connection. Nice job. Breathing in, the ribs undo the twist as the arms reach up to the sky. And then exhale, just a more active form of a fold, hinging forward, hands reaching wherever they go. All the while, you're really rooting down into your sit bones, giving your sacrum, your lower back, a nice stretch. So that every inhale, you're lifting through your spine, getting that active abdomen engaged. And with your core involved, hollow in the heart, breathing out. Just to fold forward a little further. Take 3 more breaths. Work. Next, inhale. Press into your sit bones just so that the spine recenters and restacks. And then left hand under left knee to exhale. Bring that left leg in. Just to inhale, step it over the right leg, scoot that left foot to the right side. And when you feel your left leg on top of your right, exhale. Twist in the ribs once more to your left side. Now you've got that right elbow making its way to your left thigh. Left hand once again makes a kickstand behind the left hip. Breathe. Breath here. And with your head lifting up nice and high, breathe in, look over your left shoulder just a little more. As you exhale, undo that twist in the ribs back to center, just so that the left leg gets some help recrossing and lengthening to meet the right. Shake it out, drink some water again. And when that rebound movement has served you, we'll take a nice journey up to the feet. So, choosing a side, left or right, inhale. Swing the legs behind you to that chosen side. Just to exhale, slide the body forward. Make sure your hands are under your shoulders, legs long on the mat. Breathing in, press into the chest and palms, peeling yourself off the earth. This is your upward facing dog or cobra pose. And then legs curl, toes curl on the mat. Exhale, lift the hips up. Walk the feet in a step or two if you need. Downward facing dog. Think about reaching the soles of your feet down to the ground. Fingertips spread wide. Arms are straightened, at least to a point of comfort so that your chest can move between the arms to the legs. Another 2 breaths here. Next, inhale, looking up at that space between your thumbs. And then exhale, tiptoe the feet forward, flat foot walk the feet forward or tabletop. arriving at the top of your mat in this forward fold. From here, breathing in, lift the chest up halfway, spine makes a form of a tabletop back. And then exhale, knees soften as your heart melts to the front of your legs in a fold. Take another inhale, bend the knees nice and deep. Tailbone goes under. As you roll up and eventually gather in your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Great place again to shake the body out a bit, drink some water if you have the need. So we are going to move ourselves through a sun salutation B today. As the template won't be a traditional sun salutation B, as we'll be adding a couple of postures to create a form of a flow for you today. But certainly using sun salutation B as the focal point. Find a place on your mat for the feet to anchor in. Toes pointing toward the top of your mat. Lengthening through your legs, lifting through your abdomen again. Tadasana or mountain pose is a more active posture than it might look on the onset. As your shoulder blades are peeling down the back, you're lifting again through your hip space. Neck is long. Breathe. And coming back to your intention, what's that focus for your practice today? Balanced postures can certainly add a little extra excitement. And if you happen to stumble, embrace the stumbling. It's the journey that matters in terms of arriving at a pose just as much as the pose itself. Sun salutation B with your flow today. Inhale, hands start at heart center in Samasthiti. And then exhale, knees bend. Think about keeping your sit bones stacked on top of the heels. Chair pose or fierce pose. Fierce pose is that more connected terminology for it. Sink down a little deeper if this feels good. And reach the arms forward to that high diagonal. 2 more breaths. Nice job. Breathe in, sinking down again a little bit more if it feels nice today. And then exhale, everything melts forward as you arrive in an Uttanasana. Inhale, raise the spine up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, knees bend, hands to the earth, step hopper, float your feet to the back, elbows bend, beside the ribs, Chaturanga. From the ground, inhale, peel the chest up, press into your palms, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward dog. And then toes curl on the back of your mat. Exhale, hips rise, feet reach down, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Next, inhale. Your right leg's gonna come off the mat, doesn't have to be too high. And then exhale, step or fan the right foot to the right thumb. Left foot's 45 degrees from your mat. Torso rises. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Take about 5 breaths in each posture just to give yourself some time. Think about bending into that right knee, pushing forward softly with your left hip, pulling back with the right. Hands can even be on the hips if you want to feel what that's like for you. Nice, breathe. Now first, balance pose. You're going to breathe in, deepening that bend in your right knee as your body weight shifts forward a bit, and then dragging your left foot behind you until it's turned out beside your right leg. As you're here, with your left foot in a kickstand, find a point in front of your eyes to focus on. And then, when your eyes have a place, you can slide that left foot a little higher up. Hands can always come down and help that right foot if it feels good. Vrksasana, tree pose. Now it's important to note that you can keep that left foot in a kickstand if that's where your tree is today. And of course, move your hands wherever you'd like to for balance. Another 3 breaths. Really lifting through that right leg. Pressing into the right leg with the sole of your left foot. Opening that left knee out for your rotation. 1 more breath. Now breathing in, you're going to bring the hands back to heart center if you move the arms around. And then turning your left knee to face the top of your mat, left foot off the ground, bending into that knee, flex the foot, exhale. This is called your one-legged mountain pose or your active mountain. Ekapada Tadasana is the Sanskrit name. Take another 2 more breaths, really reaching down into your right foot. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Now to give that left leg a little bit of a break from being lifted, we're just going to inhale, reach back with your left toes, keep that left heel off the ground. And exhale, sinking into that bend in your right knee, Anjaneyasana, high lunge. 5 breaths here. Now, of course, you can always slide those left toes back more just to get a deeper lunge. You can bend into your right knee, still keeping that lift in your abdomen. Nice. Another breath here. 1 more. Good. Now breathing in, you're gonna shift your body weight forward a little bit more. And when you feel your body over your right foot, exhale, press into that right foot. Lift the left leg up. Hands find their way to the ground. If the hands don't want to reach the ground, you can always grab at that right leg, or if you have your blocks by the top of your mat, just taking a standing split in some degree, lifting that left leg back as much as you want for another 2 more breaths. Nice job. Last inhale and last exhale. So breathing in with control, that left foot plants back on your mat, 45 degrees. Come off your right leg for a brief warrior 1. And then exhale, hinge forward, hands to the ground, right leg slides back. Here's that vinyasa flow through chaturanga if you'd like. We'll gather in downward facing dog. Always welcome to drop down to the knees, send the hips back to the ankles with the knees wide. Take a moment to steady the heartbeat for a few breaths. So you have that feeling of the flow on the right side of your body. Now move to the left side. Offer those postures and then come down to your mat for your final pose today. So, if you want to stay in your resting pose, please feel free. That is always an option you can do for yourself. And just rejoin us when you're ready. On an inhale, lifting that left leg off the mat from tabletop or downward dog. And then exhale, step or fan the left foot to the left thumb. Right foot 45 degrees, raise the body up. Breathe. Balance poses incorporate elements of strength, elements of sturdiness, stalwartness. Also incorporate elements of lightness for all of the grounding and gravity that they tend to encompass. Your body is airy, it's lifted. You're equal parts on a breeze as you are firmly connected to the earth. Another 2 breaths. Nice. Now breathing in, shifting forward a little bit again so that your body is planting in that left foot. And exhale, dragging your right foot in by the right toes. Turn out that right leg, about 45 degrees or so from the left. Find a point of focus for your eyes to be drawn to for Vrksasana tree pose. And again, keep the kickstand. Or you can start lifting that right foot, pressing it nice and firmly against your left leg with much better balance than myself. You can even think of really pressing into that inner curve of your right foot, just so that you really feel that side of the left leg. And of course, arms where you wish. Take another 4 more breaths. Honor what your body wants to do today. Honor where your body is today. Again, balance poses can certainly bring out some feelings. 1 more breath. Good. Now, from here, breathe in. Arms gather back at heart center as you turn that right knee to face the top of your mat. And then exhale, right foot comes off the ground. Keep the right knee bent. Ekapada Tadasana. Now, you can also, if you want, lift the arms up for a little extra heat here. Again, variations come in any way that you need. So we take just another 2 more breaths. As you can see, my body is certainly wanting to do some of its own things today. But it is all about, again, honoring where you are in the space and shaking it out at any point that you need. Great job. Now inhaling, you're sending that right leg back, toes meet the mat. And then exhale, sinking into that bend in your left knee, Anjaneyasana, high lunge. I'm always grateful for the moments when my own body doesn't entirely want to do a pose right away. It certainly tells me that maybe I'm feeling things myself in places. And it's also a reminder for myself that my body can be a little more lifted, a little more engaged in this moment. Balance poses ask of you a presence of mind as much as a presence of body. Another 2 breaths. Great work. Last standing pose. Inhale, body shifts forward, really sinking into that bend in your left knee. And then on the exhale, reach down for the ground or your blocks. Lift that right leg up for a standing split. Again, while it's called a standing split, you don't have to lift the leg up too high if it doesn't want to go very high. This is as much a standing split as wherever the leg wants to go. You're looking back at the back of your mat just as a point of reference or point of focus for 3 more breaths. Nice work. Breathe in with control. Right foot comes back to the mat. Lift your torso up, warrior 1. And then sinking into that left knee, exhale, hinge forward. Hands meet the ground. Left leg goes back. 1 more vinyasa flow for yourself today. And again, offer that rest pose if you need it. A lot of courage in the body to attempt balance poses, especially in a very aesthetic-centric world that we live in. You think about any yoga pictures or yoga videos you might watch in conjunction with this, and how those pictures and videos can sometimes make these poses look like a walk in the park. But it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to move the body in mindful and safe ways. So give gratitude to yourself. Yoga is as much about fitness as it is wellness, and they both go hand in hand. So from downward facing dog or child's pose, we'll walk the hands down, knees underneath the hips, tabletop. And from tabletop, you're just choosing a side, left or right. Sit back on that respective hip. Get yourself oriented on your mat with the legs long. And then given that we had a little bit of hip focus, I'd give you the option to bring some blocks with you, set them to the sides, so that when you lay down, your knees can bend and then fan out to take a reclining butterfly pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. A very frequent option to offer for a final pose just because it's very relaxing, but still encourages moments of activity. You're lifting through your hip space just so that your low back feels the ground. Your shoulders are down so that your chest is nice and open. But it is here, in this place of active and observational stillness, that you give your body a chance to experience what it moved through today. A few balance postures, a few foot placing shapes. Take those notes in your mind with you as you remember your breath, honor your heartbeat. Leave behind any tension, any uncertainty, any less than feelings. Balance poses especially can diminish the spirit a little if we don't feel like we can hold them for long. But even just trying a balance pose, you hold it for a breath, hey, that's a breath, you know? 1 breath will become 2, the more you give yourself these postures to practice on your own time. So enjoy your Savasana, and thank you for everything that you do, the courage that you show, and the strength and balance by which you spend your days on and off of your mat. I'll call you back to the here and now shortly. to begin gradually guiding yourself back to this plane. And within that one process are a myriad of other processes that you tether yourself to and with. The retethering of a mindful breath in through your nose and out through the nose or mouth, all the while engaging with the quality of air, the temperature, the way that it passes through the body, whether going to or from the lungs. The tethering of flickers of life in your fingertips and toes, wrists and ankles as you circle and wiggle, and as you wiggle and circle again. Remembering the feeling of being a human that inhabits a human body on a multi-species planet. And finally, tethering yourself to any movements that feel good for your body in your space. Anything that honors and strengthens your bond in this corporeal plane. So that eventually, you're welcome to decide whether ending in your conjured savasana is just how you want to be, or if you would like to meet me in a seat of your choosing, taking your time to make the body move in those safe and gentle ways. After all, your arms, legs, and eyes will indicate to you when you found a place of sealing, a place that resonates with the closing of your journey today, as this is just one journey of many on your path, a path laden with intentionality and purpose. It's always unique to your story, whatever this chapter of a day has in mind. But elements like strength, balance, presence of self, and courage can almost certainly help you move authentically and kindly for you in a world that isn't always as authentic and kind as we might want it to be. And to that end, it has been my humble, happy honor to have shared in a part of your journey today as you've spent time with me on your mat. Thank you so much for trusting me to guide you on these balanced postures and on this particular flavor of a practice today. And may you live your life authentically for you, bringing your shine and radiance to this beautiful planet that we share. The luminosity in me cherishes, respects, and will always celebrate the luminous blooming heart in you. Shanti. Namaste. Thank you so much for taking a part of your day and honoring my practice with your time and with your energy. You do the work. You are the teacher. More than the person that you see on your screen, your body is what will move you through any experience and what will take anything in this world that you want it to. So until we meet each other on our mats again, may you always be kind to yourself. Namaste.